Looking good. So that's the purple with the red.
No, that's dark gray with a single 32-inch red.
Okay, looks good.
Those straps.
That was real good.
So what did you think?
That was good.
Okay. Should I stick with that for a while or
Yes.
make different things?
Yes. No, right there. You gotta now grow into that.
Okay. Um, so I figured I was trying to pick a resistance that was in between what I could pull and what my grip can handle without having to use straps.
Mhm.
And the purple single was a little bit, it was easier than the double orange 37-inch added. So it was easier, which kind of surprised me because it's actually considered lighter resistance, even doubled, I think. I don't know. Maybe not. But anyway, the red, it's still tough on my grip, but it's not as, it feels
Yeah.
like I grow into before I increase. Does that make sense? Because I'm trying to get my grip strong, but at the same time, I figure you could tell me when I eventually have to use straps, correct?
Hmm.
Okay. I'm counting on you, Mikkel. And with my stepdaughter, it seems like every year she's in the hospital and she pulls through every time, Mikkel. But it's really a sad situation with her though. But what kept her alive as long as what she is was me having her on the swim team all those years. Because normally when your parents know that your child is born with that brain disease, they don't do anything like but
Yeah.
I she had it. I just knew she was a handful when she was younger until her period started and everything started shutting down. I mean, we're really lucky that none of the other kids were born with it because it's a thing, you know. So I thought for sure this year we were going to be okay. That little stinker ended up getting sick. So how was your day yesterday and Monday?
Good. Real good. Busy with a lot of people.
What's that?
Busy with a lot of people.
Oh yeah. Well, I got home because I told you she went to the hospital. So I asked her if I could do a later session. I sat down, laid here on the floor to do the session, and I fell asleep.
It happens.
Oh my God, I felt so rude. I felt rude. I tell you what, though, I slept. It felt good to sleep.
Good control. Try to pull it a little bit lower to your abs, just a little bit lower yeah, in that kind of angle.
Right there?
Hmm.
You mean not towards my chest, but towards.
Exactly. Just more between the belly button and the sternum.
When do you think I'll get stronger? Too.
When do you think you get stronger and what? Lady, you're pretty damn strong. The thing is that people have a a over expectancy,
Uh huh.
or that, let's say, just because, let's say, I do double elite band or more, it doesn't mean that people's top end won't be just one elite band at most, and even that will only be maybe 15 reps. So let's say bent row. There's a lot of moves that have the 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 top hand range at most for you is going to be at most on this move right there, light gray. After light gray, you ain't going to go to dark gray, right? It ain't going to happen. I could tell by the structure of the people's bodies, of the way they're pulling. Everybody has a top end. It doesn't mean that it stops getting benefits, but there's no way to constantly. You cannot go to double or triple the strength capacity of that of your own body. So in other words, once you reach a certain level band, people are not going to go beyond that.
But you could still get stronger.
Stronger in the sense of you're still getting a workout in, but you're not. You're going to gain a rep here and a rep there, but it isn't that you're going to go. You're not going to go to black band on that move, no matter how long you do it. I could just tell that by the way it's moving right now. I could tell the people that could go up comparison to their own, to the way they're moving that thing. Your top end on that one's going to be light gray, and it's going to take a long time to get there, right? But
Yeah.
after light gray, it ain't going to go to dark gray, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's just the way it is.
Still get a workout in. You still chew.
You're still going to get a workout in it. You're still going to get improvements, but there's no way. Uh, there's this misconception that if you just keep working, you could continuously go up a band. No, that doesn't work. It's just like in shoulder press. Most people, especially most women's top end, is going to be the white. Even the white, that's it. They some might get to light gray. Very few exceptional women might get to the dark gray,
Well,
but that's it.
I've been adding when I'm not working out with you. I've been adding the, the 41-inch orange to the white, and I can get about 15 of that. And, but with you, I'm still sticking with white until I can get more reps, but I'll test myself. I guess it's more or less testing. And I'll test myself with that orange band, and I could do it, you know?
Okay. Yes, there's a difference between doing one rep or two than
Yeah,
doing an actual
I
workout set. I think of it as the records in the world lifting records and deadlift. Whenever they break them by 3 pounds, 4 pounds at most, and it's always like the same person breaking it, right? So they've reached the top end that the most you get, the incremental changes of adding strength are only gonna. No one's gonna go in and break it by 300 pounds because it isn't gonna happen. There's a top end to this stuff. There isn't a eternal. This is not a like being in the stock market where you could eternally pretend that you're going to raise the things forever. No one's going to eternally raise the damn strength capacity.
well, you want to
It's not a comic book.
mean, and I think eventually that the orange may be my top end, but you know, but I think eventually I will
Where
with the white, and then I improve with the orange on the couple times that I do it.
where you're not ended yet, right? Where you're not ended yet, it's going to be your deadlift. Your deadlift has a lot of capacity.
Good.
Okay, that has a lot of capacity. So now, if you want your bent row to be high, here's I'm going to show you the ratios. If you want your bent row to be a high, the reason my bent row is so high is because my deadlift is so high. So you got to view them always as a half.
Okay.
In other words, if you want to be able to pull the black plus other bands in a bent row, you better be lifting two blacks, three blacks, four blacks in deadlift because that's what shows you the capacity to be able to pull. You have to have the capacity for your back to stay stable in the
Okay.
deadlift at that range, because remember, you're basically in the same position to be able to then pull that much. So
I,
you're basically, your top end bent row will be usually the at least half of your deadlift. You cannot expect to bench row the black and only be able to pull and deadlift the gray. That's not
right.
gonna happen.
And while I'm doing my biceps, I want to I want you to think about failure and what, like, how do you truly know if you're going to failure? Because you get those jerks online that say people only know failure when they're super advanced and they'll never get it.
Well, it takes a while, yes, to actually know. Right now, you just gotta fail where you stop. That's okay.
And
It's not just that. Look, the reason that you can't know the failure is because the truth is you will need somebody there taking away bands while you're doing it. Because even though this is variable resistance, you're not gonna feel true failure until you actually do like what I do, where I drop bands and drop bands and drop bands and continue while
that's
staying under load. Because that's the difference. Good form, good squeeze. Good. Look at your arms. Your arms are so sculpted now.
But on a move like that, while I was working out with you, should when I couldn't get the resistance anymore, should I took off the purple and kept trying?
You cannot do that. You have to know how to do it that it automatically falls off. If you were to learn all that, that is different. Yes, failure where you actually go to, you start dropping bands is almost completely different. Your body gets completely burnt out.
Can you teach us how to do that?
No, because then people are gonna get hurt. And well, I've shown moves where I do it, but it's just hard to do. You're doing more than enough. Look at the results. I don't understand. Are you gonna go run a uh, a, a strongman competition?
We are actually driving because me and Tammy had talked, and we're gonna meet someday, right?
Nice.
But I'm gonna be in Springfield, Illinois this morning, and I would love to contact her and say, because we're picking up a KUV, a work truck that we just bought, and I gotta go sign the papers or sign it, And I'm thinking I'm gonna be so close to her, because she's not that far away from me. On the sign up links, where like if I'm able to go into the office later one day, I like to do maybe an hour or two later class, so I can, but when I look in and I press, let's say I press the 7:30 class, is that my time showing my time?
Yes, it should be in your time.
Okay, because that's where I get confused because I'm not sure if all the classes automatically show where your time zone is. So when it says book, I mean, right now you have me automatically booked for this class, but if I wanted to go in and pick a different class on a day that I
You're
might,
able to do it.
huh?
Just if there's space in it, you're able to add yourself in
Right. But if it says 7:30, that means my
your
time.
time. Yes.
Okay. That's what I was confused about because sometimes we get, the time zones mixed up.
Squeeze lower. Really put emphasis into the squeezes.
At the top.
Yeah. eh, Throughout the whole range.
But I did go lower in the resistance. That move, I try to go to failure sometimes, but I don't worry about it as much because my calves are already a pretty, pretty nice size. So I go and
Well, here, let me show you something else also.
okay.
Okay, listen. Going to failure isn't going to be what makes someone's calves bigger or their biceps bigger. You have awesome arms. And like you said, you're not feeling total, you are going to failure. But what I'm saying is this: when you see somebody that looks awesome, don't think that they're going to better failure than you. They might not be doing anything right. They just look awesome. Their results are going to be based on their body's ability to produce results regardless of the crappy workout they do or not do. Some people get amazing results out of crap. Others get suboptimal results out of doing what you consider amazing workouts, really good, effective workouts. It's not supposed to be fair. We all want life to be equal. Work equals results. No, it doesn't. Work might equal results for some, and work might, incredible amount of work might equal subpar results for others.
Yes.
So it's not always equal. Do the best you can, and
Ex-
your body's going to respond the best it can. But don't think that your results are based on you having done, not as a, let's say your calves don't look like someone else's. It isn't that you did less work. You might have done much better work. So
Mhm.
don't, do the best you can and be happy with what you do. Always try to do the best, because I always try to do the best. But it doesn't mean that I don't realize that there are people that have much better, they're always going to have much better bodies
Yeah.
because their bodies are made that way, right?
Yeah.
Even
Yeah.
though they might be doing crappy work. And trust me, I've seen them online. They're doing crappy moves with crappy form, with doing everything the wrong way, and they still have much better bodies. And then people are going to go, oh, he knows something. No, he doesn't. He
Right.
just
Didn't
does
I?
it and looks that way, but he's really doing suboptimal work. But his body responds much better.
Well, that's what I was telling Steve. He's always
Mhm.
see with me though. I really do want to get a good workout, the best
Yeah,
workout.
of course.
I used to work out for hours, booty yoga, Zeuskalite. I used to do all this stuff because I'm addicted to the adrenaline, the metabolic high, and more so than the actual look. Even I love that feeling. So I guess I want to make sure I'm doing the best workout I can, not hour long. You know what I mean? When you do an hour to 2 hour long workout, cardio, metabolic, whatever it is, hit, you know, yeah. But this is the best I've looked with the shortest amount of time spent. I've never had, my arms could never take on shape before ever, Mikkel. They were like this. I was shaped like an upside down or a triangle. I was shaped like a triangle. My shoulders, my arms could not take shape. Since I've been doing this, they have. So I got a compliment for the first time.
Awesome. It's
You should
always good to get a compliment.
but at Walmart, really hot in there, and I took off my
Mhm.
sweater and I had tank top on. He said, "You have very nice arms." I was like,
Look
"Oh
at that. Your arms look amazing. I wish my arms looked as good as yours.
yeah." I was like, "Wow."
This is awesome. Your whole shoulder area and everything looks amazing. You're starting to look like you're ready for going into the World Wrestling Federation.
Yeah. But speaking of catching on and getting fast, Steve has always been a worker, but every
Mhm,
this, but a worker. But he was losing all of his muscle, this hunched over shoulder, and his lower body is skinny compared, he's got
mhm.
right, but he is catching on so fast. And
Well, because he has natural memory of work.
yeah,
Trust me, it's, and you'd be surprised how quickly bands compared to weights help people get into their posture fix up, because the bands are really almost like an extension of a muscle.
mhm,
Bands work more like a muscle than a weights do. A weight is static. Muscles have different leverage points depending on the angle and this amount of stretch
uh,
because of the position. So a band really matches what a muscle is doing. So it's easier when you really start doing it, in a sense, to comprehend what you're supposed to do, because you're able to dig into the movement. While with a weight, in order to go heavy, you have to use momentum in the beginning because you got to throw it,
have
right?
to.
So you're not really squeezing into the movement. With a band, you are squeezing into a movement, which is a natural thing that we know how to do. We know how to squeeze into things. which is why you gotta focus on the squeeze. It isn't about just moving the damn thing. You gotta focus on squeezing out movements,
He is, and he is.
and that helps you get into the right posture.
And he's using light bands because, mind you, he's strong. But like I told him, in order to get the posture correct, you got to use the light bands, or else you're just
Mhm.
reinforcing a bad posture. But it's amazing and how much better he's gotten. At first, I thought it was going to be a lost cause because it was like, I don't know how to do this, but it's amazing. He's getting it, and But that damn tricep, though, he still wants to do his winding bars, and when you change
Mhm.
springs, So that part we're so. But I want to do a session with you whenever you think you can. Maybe book out a half hour for him, and I'll be there
Well,
with him.
what time is he available?
Huh?
What time is he available?
Well, like now he's working out with me right after I'm done with you. So,
So let's just book him at 7 o'clock in the morning with you. Okay, that's it.
well, I'm at 6.
Hmm?
I'm at 6, but usually there's other people with me, so I don't want to take up your.
You see how empty it is sometimes? Depends. Do it tomorrow, and that's it. Doesn't matter.
Or
All
what do
right.
you usually have something right after me?
Well, yeah. Usually, after I start doing some stuff that I gotta take care of, and then I have a class at 8. But you could do it tomorrow. Let's do it tomorrow.
Okay,
Pretty
seriously.
simple. All right.
But out because I still got to put my new card. I
Mhm.
got rid of that old card, but then when I
Mhm.
new card, my daughter took my